Hey guys, Jeremy here from Grace. I wanted to shoot a quick video and leave a thought with you. If you haven't already, you're in the process of being reached out to by one of the staff members here to touch base with you about a ministry team or group you lead. I know right now that there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of fear. I remember the first few times that I saw pictures and video of empty shelves, and when I showed up to Meijer and to Kroger and the whole aisles were decimated and there was literally nothing there. There was no toilet paper, there was no meat, there was very little produce, and had those moments wondering, is there going to be enough food for me and my family? Looking to the future and wondering, how is the economy going to be impacted by this? How is my job going to be impacted by this? And I know that I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one. In fact, we're surrounded by thousands and thousands of people who are wondering and fearing the same answers to those questions. And that has put us and led us to a place where we actually have a unique opportunity. We've been reading through the book of Acts, and one of the things that is just powerful is Book of Acts chapter 4, there's a scene where all of the believers and all the Christians are huddled together, fearing what comes next as far as fallout from the government, fallout economically, fallout for their safety, and they're terrified. And Peter and John show up in a way that they didn't expect it, and there's this aha moment that happens with those Christians, where all of a sudden they say, we see it now. Something clicks, that God is sovereign, He's in control. There is nothing that happens without Him knowing. There's nothing that happens without His permission. There is no king, there is no economy, there is no situation, and there's no virus that can dethrone Him from His power and His purposes. And because of that, they were filled with confidence and boldness, and they were filled with generosity and a desire to reach out, to serve, and to love their community. And there's a powerful phrase that was put in there by the author of Acts, and it says, and God added to their number daily. In the midst of fear, in the midst of uncertainty, in the midst of facing economic trial, persecution, even death, something happens. They were filled with boldness and courage and generosity. And I think this is a time for us that we don't want to miss. Looking around at our country and our culture, it's really easy to recognize that our country and our culture is not headed towards a Jesus-centered life. It's headed away from that. And many of you have been praying for opportunities for Jesus to show up and for people to make Him famous and get to know Him, and people who are far from Him come to meet Jesus, and people who are nominally Christian take a next step in thriving in Jesus. And what I want to let you know is that if you've ever thought that, or you've ever prayed that, could it be that God is using this time right now? Could it be that while everyone is afraid, while everyone is focused on self-preservation, we have the opportunity to step out in faith and boldness and courage and generosity and make a difference in our communities? And I want to invite you to join me in doing that this season. Instead of operating fear reactively, that we would be wise, that we'd be intentional, that we'd be loving, and that we'd be generous. And so our team is going to be reaching out to you and asking you to help us, if you have the bandwidth and if you have the time, to use what we all have, our phone, our email, our computer, to start reaching out and making connections with people. I think during the season, as we reach out to connect and extend hope to people in our community, we could see God show up and move in pretty powerful ways during this time and as things are wrapping up once we get through this. Because there's one thing that is certain, we will see the other end of this. This will not derail the kingdom of God. This will not derail God's church, and this definitely will not derail what God is doing in and through us as a community. So our team will be reaching out to you, and I want to invite you to partner with us as much as you can in making Jesus famous, connecting with people, and offering out hope. If you have any questions about where we stand as a church or what's going on, or you want to hear more about this, please reach out to me. I know that while everyone's running away, it could be a temptation for us to run away, but when everyone else is retreating, that's the time for us to advance. While everyone else is cowering, this is the time for us to be bold. And while everyone else is focused on self-preservation, this is the time for us to be generous. And I know that if we were to do this as a community, we would see on the other end of this, God's miraculous power and sovereignty at work and some of the people closest to us. So I hope you'll join me in using this season when everyone else is terrified and afraid to show the hope and healing of Jesus in a new and powerful way. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.